Sam, good to chat. Just talk about the emotions you've been through. You beat Oldham, everyone's on a high, you go to Exeter, lose, you score a worldie. Just tell me how you deal with all of that, the highs, the lows and whatever.
A little bit of experience with it now, to be honest with you. You can't get too high and you can't get too low in this game. Yeah, just crack on with it. It's difficult. It's a difficult period for the football club, but as I said in numerous interviews, it's only going one way for me, with the gaffer in charge and the owner, and believing in what the gaffer's going to do and what I believe and what all the lads believe what the gaffer's going to put in place.
I'll ask him when I see him shortly, but how has he dealt with this week? Does he come strong-armed with you guys? Does he cajole you? How does he deal with losing 4-1 at Exeter?
He's gone back to the drawing board and worked on a lot of things in training this week and drilling it into us how he wants us to play and working on things and as he's probably said in the press, go back to the drawing board and work on things and get better at things. That's all we can do.
Is that repetition? Keep doing the same things?
No, not keep doing the same things as getting beat.
Oh no, I mean this week. I mean this week repetition.
Working on things, working on things, getting better at things and defending better and defending set pieces better and defending wide areas better and us being better on the ball. I think we got caught a little bit off guard on Saturday. We were a little bit slow out the traps, maybe keep harping on back to pre-seasons and I think we were working on out the lads out of the starting 11. There was 4 or 5 that had a full pre-season. So it feels like excuses, but it's not, because as you know, in the football environment, if you haven't had a good pre-season, there's lads getting fit on the job, myself being one of them. It's tough, but I suppose everyone's in the same boat and that's not an excuse to get beat 4-1.
Sure. And one thing that interests me is how a coach teaches players about the game. I mean, Jerry Francis was the best manager I've heard under, taught me a lot. How is Joey teaching you guys to make decisions on the pitch to avert, say, Exeter coming onto you and just tweaking it around a wee bit? Because he can't do everything from the sidelines, can he?
And he says that in the meetings. He says, look lads, I'd love to be out there with you. I think he still thinks he might be able to be out there with us. Yeah, I would, yeah. It wouldn't be a bad midfield three, me and Mancucci in the middle, to be honest with you. But just drumming it into us, what he expects from us, and it's interesting with myself being a midfielder. Obviously, we had the chat today. He said the game's changed from when he played. Yeah. There was a 2 in midfield and it was box to box, and you rotated with your other centre midfielder. You box to box, the game's changed. Most teams play a 3 now, and he said he never realised that till 6 months into his coaching career. So that's interesting to see. But now it's just working on things and little. It's interesting with me because little balls round the corner and little things that I can pick his brains on. It's good. It's good with the gaffer being a centre mid and me obviously being a centre mid. It's good getting little tips off him, to be fair.
So if you're playing against a 3 and getting outnumbered in areas of that midfield, how do you win that one over?
Well, we were playing with the 3, wasn't we? To be honest with you, we were with the 3 and we just never won the individual battles. To be honest with you, on Saturday, but it's. The wide men, where if you're playing the 3 at the back and the full-backs, it's the wide men tucking inside and giving them the ball and being the outlet to the outside man and getting balls down the side and getting crosses in the box. There's lots of different, obviously, as you said, he can't coach us on the job. He picks the strongest team to go out there, and if the lads don't perform or do it, then there's not much he can do. He can try and change players and try and bring different players in, but that's what he gets paid to do. It's obviously the hardest job in the world for me, like looking at him. I wouldn't like to be in his shoes, to be honest with you.
I guess you wouldn't really. You'd like him playing alongside you or whatever. But Barrow this weekend, I've never been to Holker Street. What's it like over there? It looks like the end of the world, Barrow, actually, when you're travelling from the M6 to the...
It's a long way to go. It's a long way to go from down here. It's a little bit closer from where I'm from, obviously Liverpool, but it's a long way to go. It'll be a long way to go for the fans, and I'm sure they'll still be there in the numbers like they always are. And it's a tough place to go. I think the gaffer's already mentioned, look, it's going to be pretty much similar to Exeter. It's going to be balls in your box, and they're obviously going to watch that game and try and have a little bit of a boost from it and be like, look, these can't defend balls into the box, these can't win battles. But I think we know that now, and the gaffer's been drumming into us that, look, you're going there for a fight, so you've got to win the fight early doors and then be able to play football, which is what we never done on Saturday.
How do you think they'll be, having been beaten 6-0 by Villa in the League Cup midweek?
I don't know.
It's hard,
it's hard to take things from that, because the standard of opposition they're playing against compared to, obviously it's a bit of a reality check. So I don't think they'll be hard done by. You could say they're going to be bouncing back and right up for it, or go the other way. It's a tough one. Because I think I didn't watch the game myself, I was travelling back to Liverpool, but I think Villa were quite strong looking at the team that they put out, so there's only so much you can do against them sort of opposition, you know what I mean? I think Newport were the same, wasn't he, with Southampton?
Yeah.
8-0, 9-0. There's only so much you can do against that sort of opposition. You either sit back and try and contain them like they do in the Premiership, or have a go at them and he'll pick it off. It's stuff like big FA Cup draws, it's hard.
Sure. And yourself, I mean, I get a lot of correspondence and texts and tweets from Rovers fans that they're enjoying your football. You're enjoying it so far, or you want to win more matches and all the likes, but generally you're enjoying it?
Yeah, I love it down here. Love it down here. The gaffer was one of the, obviously the fan base and the club, but the gaffer was one of the main reasons for me to come down here, and I'm really enjoying it. Obviously, we haven't got off to a start that the fans want to see and us as players want to see, but as I keep saying, if they stick with us, I think there's only one place that this club's going to, and I'm loving it down here. Yeah, settled in well. Moved into Clifton, which is a nice part of Bristol, I've heard. So I'm with a few of the lads, to be fair, and I've played with them all before, the lads I'm living with. But yeah, I'm loving it, and I feel like I'm from my first interview on day one that I done with James about just being a bit of a winner and being passionate, and that's all I think that the fans demand from players at this football club, and I think that suits me down to the ground, to be honest with you.
Yeah, spot on, that's what they want. Last one, the goal last week, is that just pure instinct? The ball comes, you've whipped it in top bins, is that just natural instinct? You don't think about it, do you?
No, it was out of anger, to be honest with you. A little bit of anger.
Sure.
For the game, I probably wouldn't have done that if it was 0-0, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah, I probably would have passed out wide to Rodgers or something, but
yeah.
No, I have got that in the locker, I'm only joking, I have got that in the locker, but it was mainly out of frustration.
Yeah.
Like, the game obviously didn't go to plan and just opened my body, and I tried to put it there, to be honest with you. I did. It's not one of them that you shut your eyes and just drive with your laces. I have opened my body and tried to bend the top corner, but yeah, they come off every once in a while, to be honest with you, and that was too good of a goal to be a consolation, I keep getting told, but it is what it is.